Hi, my name is Vinay Kamidi. I'm a PhD candidate at Virginia Tech. Today I'm presenting distributed controllers for human-robot locomotion, a scalable approach based on decomposition and hybrid zero dynamics. This is work done with my advisor Professor Kaveh Akbari-Hamed, Dr. Jonathan Hahn, and Professor Robert Gregg. While the technology in the domain of powered prosthesis is rapidly expanding, in the context of controls, most approaches are linear and time-varying in nature, requiring different parameters to be tuned at different time periods to account for the nonlinear dynamics involved in locomotion. This requires clinicians spending significant time tuning control parameters for each individual. On the other hand, nonlinear controllers have been developed for decentralized or distributed control of power prosthesis, but existing methods either do not consider the interaction forces or require force sensors. While we have amazing approaches that address collaborative human-robot locomotion, our approach extends the technology by synthesizing nonlinear distributed controllers that account for interaction forces but does not need any force measurements. Our approach considers a hybrid model wherein we abstract walking as a composition of multiple domains to capture the nuances of human walking. We then assume the presence of a pre-existing centralized controller that can either be stabilizing or destabilizing. The only caveat is that the pre-existing centralized controller is based on virtual constraints approach. We then decompose the dynamics and feedback control laws with a parameterization to synthesize local control laws. The major part of the presentation will focus on clarifying what this parameterization entails and how we ensure the stability with this parameterization. Before we proceed further, I would like to bring attention to the contributions associated with this work. The first contribution of this work is the proposition of decomposition-based approach for synthesizing distributed controllers. We showed that this method enables a significant reduction in the parametric space, allowing the formulation of small-scale optimization problems. Second, we carefully investigate the Jacobian matrices of both centralized and distributed controllers and demonstrate that a bounded relationship exists between them. This property allows reduction in our search space. Finally, we demonstrate the performance of the proposed analytical framework by rigorously simulating a complex 3D human-robot model. To put things in context, allow me to first present the model we used in this paper. We consider a lower extremity amputee whose point of severance is just above the knee. As evident from the figure on the left, the black links represent the human amputee and the red links represent the powered prosthesis. In our model, we consider a 70 kg human and the corresponding physical parameters for the prosthesis are taken from reference 1 that develop the PR leg shown in the figure to the right. Further, in our model, we make use of non-trivial feet by abstracting the human foot as square foot. Cumulatively, this structure is composed of 19 degrees of freedom, where 6 degrees are associated with the absolute orientation and position of the robot. Out of the remaining 13, we have 11 active degrees of freedom, 3 at each hip, 1 at each knee, 2 at the human ankle, and 1 at the prosthesis ankle. Respecting the prosthesis design, we model the point of attachment and the prosthesis ankle roll as passive joints. We make use of standard robotics notation where q dot captures the states and velocities of the model and u is the control vector. We consider a 4-domain hybrid model where 2 domains capture the heel rise phase, that is domain 1 and domain 3, and the remaining 2 domains capture the flight phase of the swing leg. The entire hybrid model is captured in the tuple HL. First, we will do a brief review of centralized control synthesis. To simplify the analysis, let us just focus on one domain. Let us begin by considering the open loop model given in equation 1, where the first row captures the continuous time dynamics and the second row captures the discrete time dynamics. Here x plus and x minus are the states right before and after the discrete event. To help with the analysis, we make one temporary assumption that grants us access to a periodic orbit O that provides us the desired evolution of the robot. We track the progress of the robot with the help of a time-based phasing variable encoded in tau. Note that one can alternatively use a state-based phasing variable. The evolution of the robot in the continuous time domain can be given by the constraint equations of motion provided in 2, where the definitions of d, h, and b are duly noted. Equation 2 is said to be constrained as it eliminates the Lagrange multipliers arising from the feet in contact with the ground. Now to compute the control action u, we consider the virtual constraints approach. For those of us that do not know what virtual constraints are, it is defined as a set of kinematic constraints that are imposed by the action of feedback laws to coordinate the motions of links within a stride. One can consider both holonomic and non-holonomic virtual constraints. So coming back on track, we define our virtual constraints in equation 3, wherein we are imposing the robot to track q star that is extracted from the orbit O. We then make use of input-output linearization to compute our control action u. This is defined in equation 4 where LGLF are the lead derivatives with respect to the vector field g and f. LGLFy is the decoupling matrix, and here Kp and Kd are some positive gains that drive the output to 0, and this is how we synthesize the centralized controller in brief. We are now primed to understand the first contribution of this work. We propose the decomposition approach that splits the model sigma into 2 subsystems. For convenience, we will name them sigma I and sigma j. While noting the dimensions of the vectors, observe that this results in an asymmetric decomposition. The position vector q is now a column vector of qi and qj, corresponding state vectors are xi and xj, and finally the control actions are split into 2 as ui and uj. Recall the constraint dynamics in the centralized control synthesis review. Now let us decompose the constraint dynamics into 2. We obtain equation 5. To further simplify the analysis, in addition to considering only one domain, let us also only focus on one subsystem moving forward. The process can be repeated for the other subsystem. We will consider subsystem I for our analysis. The dynamics for subsystem I can be extracted from equation 5 and written in a complete form in equation 6. You may have already observed that the terms from subsystem J appear in the equations of subsystem I. This is kind of a roadblock and stops us in our tracks. So in order to tackle this, we make an assumption that subsystem J is on the periodic orbit, which is the gist of assumption 2 on this slide. So this means that subsystem I indeed knows the whereabouts of subsystem J, as we have access to Qj, Q.J and Uj. The definitions are given on this slide. Further, equation 7 is simplified representation of equation 6, achieved with the help of coefficients d bar, h bar and b bar. This completes the dynamic decomposition of the model. We will now decompose the outputs. To do so, we will split our outputs into two, namely yi and yj, and refer to them as local outputs. This allows us to write our virtual constraint equation as in equation 8. Let us further simplify equation 8 by making use of assumption 2 once again. Since we are already on the orbit, the component Cij multiplied by the difference of Qj and the desired value of Qj vanishes, leaving us with equation 9. At this juncture, we would like to remark that from our previous investigations, we made the observation that just having local virtual constraints as in equation 9 is insufficient to stabilize the cumulative system. In order to understand what's coming next, let us for a quick second consider both the subsystems as in the picture to the left. Now to stabilize the periodic orbit, we introduce an assumption that provides us access to some smooth function psi. Assumption states that psi is a measurable function, and it is a fair assumption to make, as a simple IMU can be attached somewhere on the human thigh and the readings of the IMU can be relayed to subsystem J. Subsystem I and subsystem J both now have access to global position and velocity variables psi and psi dot. Now let us reconsider only the subsystem I and use the newly granted power thanks to assumption 3 in modifying our local outputs as in equation 10. You may have observed a matrix EI pops up. EI is the parameterization that will stabilize the cumulative system. For the time being, let us make an assumption that we know the parameters of matrix EI and move forward. Differentiating equation 10 twice would result in equation 11, wherein the acceleration terms q double dot and q double dot I can be approximated using the nonlinear dynamics in equation 6. We again have our Lie derivatives and the decoupling matrices that are hidden in the matrix AI and vector BI, and repeating the IO linearization process yields in equation 13. Equation 13 is our local control law, and this is how we synthesize the local distributed controller for subsystem I. We will now briefly recap to analyze what we have done and point out what we have left, paving the way for our second contribution. The figure on the top encapsulates the complete process to cumulatively calculate the control action for the entire system. As we can see, for subsystem I, we assume Qj and Uj to be on the orbit, and that allows us to capture the nonlinear terms for subsystem J and its corresponding effect on subsystem I. And finally, the controller spits out the control action Ui. The same is done for subsystem J, except we have the additional parameters psi j and psi dot j. Let us now stop for a second and identify that subsystem I represents the human, and technically we humans do not need availability of the global variable psi or psi dot. We know where to go and with what velocity to go. It is the prosthesis that has to cooperate. With that clear then, EI is indeed 0, but EJ still needs to be calculated. This forms the topic of our next discussion. Before we go on to find the parameters of the output matrix EJ, we take a step back to see if we can simplify the search for these parameters. We do so by comparing the Poincare maps of the centralized and distributed controller, the closed loop models of which are given in equation 14 and equation 15 respectively. In order to facilitate that, we define an augmented state denoted by xa that captures the states x and our phasing variable tau. Our Poincare maps can now be defined by PA and P hat A. We then present assumption 4 that states the Jacobian linearization along the continuous time dynamics are bounded and the difference is also bounded. Using this and the previous assumptions, we present our second contribution that states that there exists some constant beta greater than 0, which allows us to capture the bounded relationship between the difference of the Jacobian linearization about the corresponding fixed points, the proof of which is readily available in the paper. Now we can circle back to the problem of finding the parameters in the output matrix EJ. For that purpose, we introduce a variable chi that is defined as the vectorization of the matrix EJ. The local controllers in 13 can be rewritten to be a function of chi, and we will refer to it as the parameterizing state feedback law. This then gives us the liberty to parameterize the Jacobian matrix of the Poincare map as given in equation 18. The exponential stabilization problem then is condensed into finding these control parameters chi such that the eigenvalues lie inside the unit circle. This relationship is captured in equation 19, which is formulated as an NLP. We search for minimum 2 norm parameters that will make the modified outputs close to the decomposed ones. We remark that in comparison to our previous approach wherein we synthesized local controllers from scratch, we obtained a reduction of 94.8% in the number of searchable parameters. With the theoretical understanding established, we will show numerically the power of the proposed distributed control algorithm. First, we need to satisfy a temporary assumption of the availability of an orbit made earlier. To fulfill that, we formulate a trajectory optimization problem for the following 4-domain hybrid model and make use of readily available package Frost. We solved the optimization problem for two gates with a forward speed of 0.2 meters per second and 0.3 meters per second. Now we are in a position to simulate our distributed controller. For the first simulation, we decomposed the 0.2 meters per second orbit stabilized by a centralized controller and synthesized the distributed controller. We report that the controller is successful in converging to a periodic orbit and it is evident from the limit cycles. For the second simulation, we used the 0.3 meters per second gate and intentionally synthesized the destabilizing orbit with the help of a centralized controller. We then proceed to systematically decompose and synthesize the distributed controller. As is evident, the controller is able to converge to a periodic orbit despite starting with an unstable orbit. Both simulations were done for 100 steps. In the interest of time, for the other simulations, we refer the interested listeners to our paper. Finally, we perform a comparative analysis between the centralized and distributed controller. To facilitate this, we introduce a noise of 42 decibels signal-to-noise ratio in the velocity component of the active joints in the prosthesis subsystem. The first observation shows that the centralized controller cannot contain the noise, as is evident from the noisy talks in the human subsystem. This is, however, not the case for the distributed control architecture. The second observation is that the amplitude of the noise in the centralized controller is higher than the amplitude of the noise in the distributed controller. This can be attributed to the change in dimensions of the decoupling matrix. In conclusion, we presented a decomposition-based approach for the synthesis of distributed control algorithms that is shown to significantly reduce the number of local parameters to be tuned and optimized by almost 94.8%. We analytically studied the Jacobian matrix of the Poincare map of both centralized and distributed controllers and demonstrated a bounded relationship exists, thus further simplifying the search. Finally, we rigorously validated the performance numerically and demonstrated that distributed controllers have inherent robustness, a property which we can exploit and investigate further by generalizing the approach to rough terrains. The experimental evaluation of the proposed distributed controller also falls under the scope of future objectives. With that, I would like to end by thanking you for listening.